Is a bow staff a good self-defense weapon? The answer is yes. In this online martial arts, learn martial arts at home tutorial, I'm going to show you how to fight with a bow, how you can fight with your bow. Start with your bow in one hand. You need to properly warm up first. You're just turning it side to side. I'm using a really heavy bow tonight. This is a self-defense bow. This one is not for tricks. It's not for taking competitions. This is for fighting. This is a brand new product. This is the Quantum Protector self-defense bow, and I just got it in today. I just picked it up, found it. Finally, they had shipped it to the wrong. They shipped it to the right place. The post office took it to the wrong place. So I finally got this today. Been having a lot of fun working with this already, but this is not for the beginner. This is not for somebody unless you're serious about self-defense. You want to learn how to fight with a bow. This is the kind of bow staff you need. Not lightweight. Not super flexible, but hard hickory, hard oak. So the first thing I want you to do, we've done a little bit of warm up, turn side to side, hand to hand, is get behind your bow. The reason that you can use a bow for self-defense, the reason a bow is such a great self-defense tool is that it creates distance immediately. As soon as you point your thumb at the threat, they're coming in, closing distance. You now stick this in their face and they have to get around it to see you, to stab you, to grab you, to punch you, to hit you with something. So you're fighting from behind your weapon. It's very important when you learn how to fight with sticks. Always fight from behind the sticks. Get the stick between you and the threat and keep it in the center. What that means is this is not between you and the threat, right? This is over on the side. So when you learn how to do basic strikes in your thrusting techniques, when you learn how to fight with a bow, you want to keep it very narrow in front of your body. And if you have to turn and face another threat, you turn with the bow in front of your body. It's the same as if you were doing this combat kind of stuff and you were training for an application using this kind of a weapon. You turn your body with the weapon facing this way. You don't look and then aim here and then aim here. Everything, your head might lead, but when you turn your body, your weapon is always presenting into the threat, to address the threat, to respond to the threat immediately. When you learn how to fight with a bow, martial arts training at home, whether it's step-by-step or one of these short tutorials, I want you to always remember, keep it tight. In front of your body, wherever your body turns, that's where your weapon goes. So we did this basic turning side to side. I want you now to go side to side here, increasing the stretch. This is a very heavy bow. This is giving me a good stretch. It's going to build a lot more power. I've been looking for a heavier bow. And the nice thing about this is it still has a good, easy diameter. It's an inch. It's not a super thick bow, but it's heavy because of how it's made. It's not just made as a with hickory, but it's also soaked in oil. Hello, MSW011 is here tonight. It's good to see you. So this is the Quantum Protector. I asked for this to be made specially, and I'm always going to say this: invest your time before you invest your money. Start with a broomstick, start with a sander's pole, start with a painter's pole. Learn and see if defending yourself with a martial arts weapon, with a long martial arts staff, with the bow, the Korean jongbong, it's the same thing, just different name. The Chinese gun, the cudgel. If you want to work with a long staff, pick up a stick first. See if it's the right weapon for you. Get used to it, and then if you do, figure out what do you want to do more. Do you want to spin more? Do you want to fight? Or if you're like me, you want to do both really well. In that case, then work yourself up to something like the Quantum Protector bow. That's what this is. It's a new product, and I'm telling you, it's extremely strong, and it's because of the way it's created. It's extremely straight, has a perfect balance point, and it's hard. It hits really, really hard, and it doesn't break. So from here, stand behind your weapon. When it's in the front hand, point it at the threat, and practice thrusting. Now I want you to do two things when you thrust. One, turn your hands over and lock. Turn it over and lock. Yeah, and it's great for staying in shape. You said it was great for staying in shape. That's a comment. Pushing this way, up and out. So stand behind it. The threat's coming in. Stop, stay back. Give them a verbal command. When they don't, extend with your arms first. Turning the front hand out and over and the back hand up and in. From here, you can also increase the distance you can thrust through their body, trying to knock them back or drive them back or stop the fight, hit them right through the middle of the face, through the throat, through the solar plexus for self-defense. That's why a bow is such a good weapon for self-defense. A long martial arts staff, you stand behind it, you point it, you immediately have protection. You have this length of staff, that's at least 36 inches, and then I've extended it. If I want to extend it more, I can push, and of course I'm going to push and turn over at the same time. Those are the two things I want you to practice. Practice thrusting with this turning motion, and practice increasing that distance and the speed of the strike by sliding it through that front hand. And I haven't had a bow staff this smooth in a long time. It's like butter in my hands. It's like hard butter. It's going to break something. That's the other thing, the other reason why a bow is such a good martial arts weapon, self-defense weapon. Naj, it's good afternoon. It's good to see you. The martial arts staff, the long staff, especially a staff like this, the quantum protector staff, is made out of a material that's going to crush bone. It's going to break bone when you hit for self-defense. So can you use a bow staff as a martial arts staff, a good weapon for self-defense? Yes, it is. I flipped the camera upside down. I keep looking here and the camera's right there. The reason it is that it's harder than the bone. You're going to be able to smash through your soft targets, eyes, nose, mouth, throat, solar plexus, groin for self-defense. And then when you do the second strike, either coming down here, coming across here, coming down on top, when you start doing your strikes, then you have the ability to break all of those joints or the bone itself, the arm, the leg. You could stop somebody. LM, it's good to see you. Hello. So from here, you're behind it. By the way, I got the videos today. I started to watch it, but it's been a busy day. So from here, you're behind your weapon, point your thumb, practice thrusting, and then bring it back and strike. When you strike, I want you to bring the back of it up and over this joint and protect your joint right here. So from here, point, thrust, strike down, and then the third strike is you're going to bring it across the chin, across the temple, into that upper arm, into the joint here. Oh, hello, David. It's good to see you. So from here, thrust, strike, and you don't always have to bring it all the way back. But in practice, get in the habit of from here, striking and pulling it up and over this part here so that you protect that joint. So from here, strike down and then across the body and bring it to a stop on your upper arm. Get used to the impact. You're going to get a little bit of bruising, especially with the quantum protector bow, but you're going to get a little bit of bruising there, but that's okay. Get used to that. You're going to get stronger. So from here, thrust, angle down, come straight across, and then I want you to come down and just straight down over the top. A hickory bow like this, the quantum protector bow, right on the forehead, out conscious. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter what your staff is. You could pick up any long pole and you can do all of these moves with it. Some might break, but it's better than nothing. And if you have to really defend yourself, focus on thrusting strikes. When you do thrusting strikes, those strikes are going to create distance. When you do striking down like this is not going to break. It might under maximum force, but that's very likely, and that's because they soak this for days in an oil polymer mix that makes it extremely strong. So, and it's a hard, strong wood to start with. So this is going to be very effective for self-defense. But if you pick up, let's say you pick up an aluminum umbrella. You have an umbrella. You have like a golfer's umbrella. And it's not as long as this, but it has some length. You can thrust and keep somebody back by thrusting into their midsection, into their throat, into their face, into their eyes. You can create that distance. Now, if you strike like this, it might bend and break, and then you don't have an effective self-defense tool anymore. So focus, if it's critical and you have to stay safe, stick to the thrusts, right? Thrusts, that's where a tool like that, an umbrella, or we have beach umbrellas down here in the trash cans all the time when you go to the beach because people leave them on the beach when they get back on the plane and go back north. They can't take them with them. Hello, Sensei Amit. We're saying that if you have to defend yourself and you might not have as strong of a weapon as this, but you pick up some stick, you can always practice always just go straight through the middle and stick with the thrust, stick with the thrust. And it's interesting to me because I see so many styles where it's all based on coming around, and it reminds me of self-defense in the martial arts. Self-defense in the martial arts without a weapon is really focused on old school, all these different styles of karate, taekwondo, kung fu, tang soo do, all the striking arts, right? Including Krav Maga. And there are a lot of swinging strikes or kicks, a lot of roundhouse kicks, a lot of stuff like that. And they're all valuable and they all work. Hello, it's good to see you. But the ones that work the best are straight. They're always going to be straight punches and straight kicks. And people don't use those because I think it doesn't occur to them to keep it simple. They're looking for ways to do a turning kick or a spinning kick or a turning around backward kick, which are all good techniques. But from the very start, if you get in a good fighting position, your hands are up, guarding your head, and you just go straight, and you know how to work a jab, and the jab just keeps them from coming in, and then you only throw straight punches. If you don't know anything else, throw these, and they're very effective. And then on the kicks, keep those straight too. You don't have to do turning kicks, and you don't have to kick high. The same is true when you're defending yourself with a staff, a bow, or any martial arts staff, or, like I said, an improvised weapon. You pick up any kind of stick, and you have to defend yourself. You put it between you and the threat, and then you go straight in. David asked, how practical is a side kick? I'll show you it's extremely practical. The guy grabs my wrist here, and I just smash his ankle, and I have stories about everything. I'm not going to get into the story, but I saw with my own eyes one night as a young military policeman, my partner had to address a threat, and he did that stomping side kick and just shattered an ankle. And so it's a very effective kick if you know where to do it. Now, if you're in this position and you lift the knee and you turn and side kick, and I'm not going to do it that late because I didn't stretch, but you lift the knee and you turn that side kick, then is it as effective as a front kick? I don't think so. If you have perfect timing, you practice all the time. Peter, hello, Peter. Peter asked how I'm doing. I'm doing great. Peter, how are you doing? So a side kick, I would use, the right way to use a side kick is simply to the side and low. Low is better. Now, can you do a good side kick to the body? Yes. But ask me that question again. It disappeared. But the traditional martial arts side kick, is it effective? Yeah, you can break lots of boards. You can skip side kick. I skipped side kick a kid once in a tournament for the grand champion. We're fighting for grand champion at this big tournament up in Cleveland, Ohio. And I side kicked this kid, and this is so silly. They used to do there were four weight divisions at this tournament, and I was heavyweight, and he was the lightest weight. I forget what it is, like little puny flyweight or something. And I skipped side kicked this kid, and he did one of these where he was trying to catch his balance. He went through 3 rings until he finally fell into a coach who was coaching another fight into the chair before he stopped moving. Now, is it effective? And if you have good timing and distance? But yeah, I think I was like 23, 24 or something like that. Would I do it now at 50? Not like that. No, I'm not as fast. I'm not as flexible. I'm going to smash the knee though. I can side kick low into his knee or to his ankle or to his shin bone all day long and shatter it for self-defense, especially if I'm wearing some boots. Put on some Doc Martens, or maybe you're wearing some work boots, or maybe you're like a cowboy, you wear the cowboy boots, which I always find too slippery, by the way. But whatever. You're wearing to the side. So everything works in the proper application, like I think Sensei Emmett just said. All right, so you have the self-defense staff. You have the bow. This is the Quantum Protector, and I just got it today. I'm very excited, and yes, I am pushing it. I'm promoting it if it's right for you. It's not right for you, don't buy it. Don't waste your money. Invest your time before you invest your money. If you find something you like better, use that, or use a stick. Get used to it first. But if you want to see what it costs and what it is and all that, it's that first link below. If they've updated the website. If it's not, check back in a couple days and it should be there. All right, number 2, put in the backhand. Think of yourself as a sentinel, a guardian, a protector of yourself and your family and your your circle of influence, the people that you live with or you work with or you move around with every day. And you're walking down the street. Now, if you have it in front of you, you can point the thumb. If you have it behind your body, so this is in front of me, this is not in front of me, right? It's behind. So if it's behind you and this is my left foot's forward, my right leg's back, and you're in this position, you're going to lift and thrust. I always start with a thrust. I always want you to start with a thrust. It's in the backhand. Lift, aim, thrust. And when you thrust, you're simply pushing, and this is the key, this front arm. If it were in the front hand, I'm going to turn it over. If it's in the backhand, I'm going to push it straight. If it's in the front hand, turn it over, backhand, push it straight. But either way, I'm coming straight through the middle. My goal is, I keep forgetting the camera's over here. My goal is to go in and through your soul for self-defense. I want to hit you in the front and come out the back. All right. From here, lift, thrust, strike, coming down at an angle. That's the same angle as the other side, but now we're doing it on this side. It's in the back hand. Get it in the front hand. You now have two hands on it. Thrust in, strike, come across, and there's that same strike, but just on the other side, stopping on the elbow. From here, it's in the back hand, lift. See all that distance between me and the guy with the knife? Stick it through his face, hit him in the temple, try to knock him out so he can't get to me with the knife. Bring it back through, maybe dislocate his jaw or explode the whole thing for self-defense. So from here, 1, 2, 3, straight down on top. And I want to finish straight down on top because, again, I don't know if he's got a knife or not. Or I do know he's got a knife. I'm not going to try to take it away. I'm not going to try to, all the stuff that I've practiced a million times, from Hapkido and old style jiu-jitsu and small circle Wally J jiu-jitsu, or all these things that do work, they all work. Or FMA, Filipino martial arts, all works really, really well with a trained partner who's feeding you a knife. I don't want to take that risk on the street, right? I just want to push, strike, bam, straight down on top. I'm going to let my stick do its job. Why do I use this? Why is a cane or a self-defense bow so effective? Why is a long martial arts tech so effective for self-defense? It's because it creates a lot of distance. It gives you a lot of range advantage. Number 2, you can increase the force, the strike of or the amount of power you have in your strike, because your muscles that are in your arms, your body, and then when you move forward, you want your feet to drive you through the target. That's all concentrated on this little, boy, that's smooth, this little tip coming through into his face, nose, eyes, throat for self-defense. Why is a martial arts staff such a good self-defense weapon? It doesn't bleed, right? Especially if they have a knife, if they have another weapon, or if there are multiple opponents. I've got this guy here, and I got that guy here, and I have this guy rushing up over here. I can hit him, smash him, come through him here, be back here, and because I'm moving the stick and not my body so much, I'm a much more efficient fighter. So I like using a stick for self-defense because you have all of these advantages. You have reach advantage, it doesn't bleed, it increases, it's a force multiplier, takes your strength and makes it more concentrated and amplifies your strength. And then it's easy because you have that reach and your hands, however fast they're moving here, it increases the farther it gets away. So when it's moving here, it's just like a baseball bat. Baseball bat at your hands is moving, let's say 100 miles an hour. At the tip, it's moving 700 miles an hour. And that's not the math. I don't know the math, but you get the point. That's the basic principle. So from here, backhand, up, thrust. From here, down at this angle. From here, coming straight across. Remember, stopping on that upper, and use your body to hit them, right? Your body here, and then straight down on top. Now, back to this hand. Just practice turning your wrist, get it into this hand. Now it's simply in front of my body. And this is the third way that I want you to think about using the bow, how to fight with a bow. From here is just pushing. Now you can push up as a block, right? They're coming with that skateboard. And this is very strong. They come with the baseball bat. And I'm gonna reach up and I'm gonna stop it with this. Now, it's better if you can stop the hand that has the weapon. It's better if you can stop that. They're swinging a bat, they have a knife, they're coming down here. You wanna be able to stop that. The question about the knife, let's say the knife is in the ice pick grip. Hold on, let's get the trainer up. We have a couple more minutes before this next group comes in. I thought I was gonna have the slowest summer because of COVID. And because last year I didn't just have a slow summer, I had a no summer. Like nothing was going on, right? And all of a sudden, just boom, out of nowhere. I'm sure everybody in all businesses are talking about this. Hopefully, since Amit over in Ireland, you're starting to pop and get busy too. But they're just coming out of the woodwork, and I'm saying yes to everything. I gotta pay the bills, right? I gotta get caught up. So let's say they're coming down this motion, chopping on top, which, by the way, that's not that common. Usually they're trying to slash. They're trying to slash you, or they're trying to stab, or you don't even see it until it's too late. And they have it in here and they palm and they come in and they stab you this way. So that's more accurate, that's more practical. But for the sake of discussion, let's say they have the toothpick grip. You know, it's all those old, oh yeah, you gotta go see Ireland. We're going back to Ireland. As soon as they open Ireland, I'm on the plane with my family. We were supposed to go right before COVID. But coming down this way, right? This is almost cartoonish, but it happens. Stabbing this way, like, you know, all of the movies. And you hit this, and it goes flying into your chest. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. So, if you block up, you also, and let me see if I can get my feet. If you block up, you want to be able to pivot just a little bit, right? Now you saw my feet. We're going back up. And the idea is that thing is coming down and you're going to turn and block it and let the knife go flying out there. Then smash them and jab it right through their face for self-defense. Stop the fight. All right, since Amit says he's a Japanese jiu-jitsu guy, and yes, all right, I think you guys are having a conversation on some other things about jiu-jitsu weapons, right? I don't know if I thought that was the question. Maybe I misread it, but, and I know since Amit said there aren't any weapons. It's like there aren't weapons in certain styles, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean you can't use a weapon. All right, Chris is a little Irish, a little more than 75% Irish, I think you said. All right, so from here, I just want you to get in the habit of getting it into the other hand. So if it's in the left hand, turn and put it in the right. If it's in the right hand, turn it up, put it in the left. Doesn't matter which hand is on top. Just put one on top, one up, one down. Practice pushing up. Then practice pushing up to the side, pushing up to the side, pushing over to the side, pushing over to the side. Now, I'm not big into blocking. I don't want you to get so deep into blocking and think of, because so many styles do, and they do, and they're right, about blocking, you know, blocking here, blocking. There's so many ways to block. And so they'll wait, and then as the bad guy comes in, because it's based on Japanese swordsmanship. So let's say the soldier comes in, and or the samurai, and he's trying to chop you in half, and then you're going to block and move and chop, punch, and do all that stuff. I don't want you to get into that. You're not a Japanese samurai, right? You're defending yourself with a stick. I want you to get like this, and instead of blocking, boom, smash. But I also want you to be able to put it in two hands and push them off, push up if you have to, push down if you have to, come up and across the body, up and across the body. And just think in the terms of basic shielding. Shield over, shield back, shield up, shield down, right? So from here, but first I want you to blast them. And let's say they close the distance and they're right on top of you. You bring this up here. Now you have a lot of leverage. You have a lot of force here. Bam, right into the face. And this, against the nose, against the teeth, against the throat, is very effective for self-defense. You want to have that basic smashing idea. Boom, boom, boom. And then step back, lift them up off the ground, lift them up between the legs off the ground. Practice all of these other techniques for self-defense. It all works. Last thing I want you to do, go back to the spinning from side to side. put two hands on it and stop it. So it's going to go over the top of one hand. You're going to bring it to a stop with the other one, over the top of that hand. Now these are wrist rolls, but the purpose of the wrist rolls with the Quantum Protector bow staff, self-defense bow staff, is to, because it's such a heavy staff, it's to build power in your grip. I want you to have a wicked strong self-defense grip. Casey's been practicing bow staff a couple months now. Just repeats the same moves. That's how you do it. You get really good at the basics. From here, the other comment disappeared really fast. I wish there's a way, I don't know, maybe you guys know how to slow down the comments so they stay up so I could respond to them a little bit longer. If you're a member, I want to send these t-shirts out to all the members. So if you're a member here or on Patreon, if you hit that join button here, or if you hit the join button on Patreon, and you're a paying member, I wanted to send these out. Since I'm still going to get you a shirt, but it's like $40 to ship to Ireland, which is ridiculous. I'd rather bring it over and give it to you in person, and then we can work out. We'll work out on the beach. You can meet me in the cliffs of Moher. We'll fight on the cliff. No, I think we're on the other side. All right, so we're going to stop with this, but I want you to practice over and over at the end of every workout for the next 10 days, this motion for at least 2 minutes. Back and forth, and see just how extremely strong your hands and your grip and everything is going to get, and how much leaner you're going to get, because that's also going to get your heart rate up. You're going to start to burn more calories. If you want to see more about the Quantum Self-Protector bow, the Quantum Protector Self-Defense bow, check the link below. Like I said, it might not be up yet, but as soon as it's up, I don't even know what it cost. I have no idea. I just know that I wanted it, and they've exceeded my expectations. But again, don't spend your money. If it offends you that someone asks you to help support their business, then that's fine. Don't be offended. Pick up a stick, cut the broom off the end, and start spinning. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you in just a little bit.